Hi, everybody. Welcome to Channeling Level 1, Cultivating Your Clairs. Um, I wanted to do this bonus video for you all in gratitude of your patience for the delay of the start of the class. I've talked to several of you and you're eager to get started. I am as well. Yes, I just appreciate your patience because there were some who were in the class who, if we were doing the original start date, would have been able to be there for the first class. But then because I had to postpone that because of my dad's birthday party on a Friday at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, who does that? Never in our life have we had my mom planned a party at that time. So I had to postpone it. And then some of those people couldn't make this next first class, which was supposed to happen today. And any other class, I really don't mind, but this first class, since there were going to be a few people out, it just felt like I really want to create a cohesive group for all of us, have us all start on the same foot. Then whatever class you miss, it is fine. It is okay. Life happens, but I just wanted to start us all off on the same foot. But one other thing that I thought about, I actually had somebody reach out to me saying she was actually glad that we delayed it. So, there's always these hidden blessings and divine timing. Um, but one other thing I thought about is the first class, I always run late because I want to give people time to introduce themselves. And there's a lot to go over in that first class. So I thought, okay, why don't I just go over a few things here? And most importantly, do a nice bonus healing for you that you can play ahead of time, and you can actually come back to this healing as often as you like. And I'm going to really focus it specifically on clearing out our channels, activating our clairs, and clearing any dusty bits, clearing any doubts, any fears. And so that's going to be something that you can access throughout the course, after the course. And actually, I thought, oh, that's a great idea. And I think I'm going to do that for every course, or maybe I'll just reuse this video that I create today. But there's something else I was going to say. Oh, yes, we are still going to be doing healings each time in the class. That is really, really important. And I've gotten a lot of feedback from my students that they love that aspect. It actually really helps the energy of the group as well. It makes us all feel really good. And I can really tell there's a lot of growth that happens through those healings and clearings. So, I am going to introduce myself today, so I don't have to do it next time. We can just focus on all of you introducing yourself. Um, you know, I do have a video up on YouTube. It's like really bad video quality, but I do have a video up going through my story. So if you're interested in my story, you can find that on YouTube. Again, pardon the video quality. I have since learned how to get a clear video. But I'll just touch on a couple of things, as well as tell you why I love teaching this class. So my background, my former career, was a doctor of acupuncture and herbalist, 15 years clinical practice. And I also did EFT in that clinic space. My patients would lie on the table with needles in, and I would tap on them, and we would do the EFT. And it was probably around 2012 that my third eye opened. That was a whole other experience that I could talk to you all about. I was at a spiritual retreat. I didn't know what happened, but I just knew that, like, I felt like I was 50 feet above the world. And I realized a couple days later, so that went on for, I think, about 3 days, I realized, oh, my third eye opened. And it was after that that when I was doing EFT, I could see, what we were talking about. I could see what needed to be cleared. My clairsentience, which also been very strong since childhood, came through even more strongly. And so I closed my practice in 2018. That was in California. Moved to North Carolina with my husband and did not think I was going to open a healing practice again. But around 2017, 2018, maybe, I did start studying energy healing. I had been getting it done on myself for many, many years, and I always thought I could never do that. That was like, even though I was so enamored by it, really, I was just in awe of it, and I thought it was so cool. And but I just never thought that that was going to be for me. So I finally dipped my toe in around 2018 and slowly started learning. Did not trust anything that was coming through. And then in 2020, it was like January of 2020, actually, I started taking my first channeling class. And I took many channeling classes for like the next 2 to 3 years. Many channeling classes, still did not trust what was coming through. And I say this with a lot of love and respect for my former channeling teachers, because they are amazing, amazing channelers. And I did learn a lot, but I felt like I was thrown a little bit into the deep end without knowing how to swim. I mean, it was like I was thrown right into channeling messages for others and channeling the higher beings of light. And it is interesting, though. The first guide who came to me was a Rahani angel, who I did not know what the word Rahani meant. My second guide who came through was Jesus, and that blew my mind. But I did not trust any of that. It took me years to trust because I did not have that strong foundation built, which is why my level 1 and my level 2, and there may be a level 3 coming. It hasn't been clear. I've been getting all sorts of insight and downloads about how to expand on this, because I do think it is part of my calling. I know it is part of my calling, to expand on it even more. So anyway, then, in the last year and a half or so, I started out learning Rahani, and then I learned, and then I learned Akashic Records readings, and then unicorn healing and angel healing and all these other modalities, and decided to open a practice. And teach. And that has been life-changing. And my clairs continue to open the more I work on myself, the more healing I do on myself, the more meditation, and the more I do with others. I really love the community aspect. So, how does this relate to you? When I wanted to teach channeling, all my classes are, I use the Akashic Records to bring them through. I go into meditation to bring them through. And this is what came through. I really wanted to provide a strong foundation so that you don't need to take channeling classes for 3 years. Although if you do, I welcome you all back into my class. It does take practice. It takes lots of practice. But I wanted to help set a strong foundation so that you can really start to trust yourself from the beginning. That was the last piece for me, was learning to trust myself. And it was like, once that came into place, it was like everything opened up. So what I really want to do is help you to trust yourself from the beginning. And how do we do that? We do this in stages. We start more, I hate to use the word simply because this is actually really profound what we're going to be doing here over the next 6 weeks. And we're going to start more simply with like plants and animals, and then move to crystals. And then we're going to move to the archangels. And then we're going to move to the ascended masters. So you're going to build that confidence with things you are more familiar with. And, you know, these classes, like I didn't learn to channel animals from anybody else. I didn't learn to channel crystals from anybody else. It was just what I started to do on my own as I was like getting really into channeling when my channel really, when I really, it started expanding and I started trusting myself. You know, I could read about certain crystals on the web, or you can go to books, but reading about it, it didn't sink in for me. It was when I sat down with that crystal and channeled it that I'm like, oh yes, that is what that crystal is for. Same thing with animals. I'd see an animal out in nature and it's like, yeah, I could go get online and see what does that animal mean. But I wanted to sit and channel with that energy and like really come up with it for my own, really know what it means for me. And that's what you're going to find. We may channel different things, but it's all going to be right. It's all going to be correct. It's all going to be our own knowing and meaning to us and ourself. So, what else was I going to say? There was something else about that. Oh, I did learn, one thing I had completely forgotten about this until it came to me to channel plants and herbs. I did learn to channel, well, we called it meditating with the plants back in 1999 in one of my professional herbalist programs. But I will tell you, I sat with those plants and I felt nothing. I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. So now I love to channel plants. It's amazing. You know, I also didn't know how to like set up a sacred space and really open up my channel. And this is really important. And we're going to get to this next week. Setting up a sacred space increases your channeling abilities. Not only does it, clarify who you're connecting with, but it increases your channeling abilities. And even to this day, like clients will come to me, and I think this even happened yesterday in a session. They'll come to me and we'll start out the session and they'll say something along the lines, this happened, what do you think it means? And I'll have a hint of what I think it means, but I say to them, you know, let's set up the sacred space. Hold on a moment. And once we do that, it's like obvious what you know, what their question was, what the answer is to that. So setting up a sacred space is so important for your channel to be open. And that will also really help you to trust what is coming through. So we are going to have, you know, a wide range of abilities in this class. There is no comparison. Nobody is better than the other. I welcome those of you with less experience. This is going to help to build a strong foundation for you. I wish I had this class when I was starting out. I really do. As well as the level 2 channeling that comes after this class. So one other thing I want to say about level 1 and level 2 is I love level 1, and level 1 is great. And level 2 is like, wow, it is so fun. So if you want to join me for level 2, you know, we just expand, and it is super duper fun. But we have to lay this strong foundation first. And it's so important. And I do have this story to share. In my last level 1 channeling class, I had a student who won the Hay House writing competition and was in the process, like actually finishing up a book she was channeling. And I was like, wow, that's so interesting that she's in my class. But she had never channeled, plants, animals, crystals, angels, ascended masters. And this class blew her mind. So the reason I'm telling you that is, even if you're experienced, there is stuff to learn here. And I actually learn each time I teach this class, which is one of the reasons I love teaching so much. I learn along the way. I grow my channel as I teach these classes. Like, I'm growing right alongside with you all. So yeah, I think that's it. So if you feel nervous, if you're worried, I know for my first channeling class, I was nervous. I was nervous because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, right? No worries. No worries. I got you covered. We're going to go over that next week. And like I said, the healings are going to be really important. And then you can also, have this other healing that I'm going to record in a little bit. I actually, I have a client soon, so I'm going to record it after that client, but it will be great because what you'll have is the speaking part, and then you'll have the healing part. So that's just going to be on its own. So it's going to be easy for you to access on your own. Like just, the healing at any time. You don't have to listen to me speak again. I think that's what I want to say today, except for I like to choose cards. We always have spirit guides overlighting these courses. And at the beginning of each class, I pull cards to see who wants to overlight for that class. I will tell you, who overlights every single one of my channeling classes is Lord Melchizedek, without a doubt. We are going to go over him next week. If you don't know who he is, he's absolutely amazing. He's one of my main guides. He really helps to clear our energetic fields. He brings through activations. But I like to choose one of the archangels from the Female Archangels Oracle from Callista. These cards are amazing if you don't have them. And then I also chose from, this is another one of my favorite decks, Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray. He also has a lot of the Ascended Masters, the Divine Masters that are in this Keepers of the Light are also in his Divine Masters. So these two overlap a bit, but I use them both. But I wanted to pull from the Keepers of the Light. And so that's the first one I pulled. So who is going to be overlighting this course is Babaji. Beautiful. I'll read to you what this says because I thought it was absolutely perfect for the class. Soul expansion. Absolutely. That is going to be happening in this class. We are going to be working on our energy fields. We are going to be clearing our energy fields. The more we clear them, the clearer our channel, the more the clairsentience comes through, the more the clairaudience comes through. Also, they were just reminding me to say, so, some of you, actually a lot of you got the private session add-on, so we can focus on that as well, because the clearings and the healings that we are going to do are fantastic. But if there's also like past life stuff, affecting you. In fact, I just got off a client session with somebody, actually from my level 2 channeling class, and we were just clearing some past life stuff that was in the way of her channel, actually past life in Avalon and a galactic past life. And wow, yeah, so much shifted. So if you feel like that is beneficial for you, um, we can work on that in that session. And I also put that discount code so you can come back and have more sessions. So we can work and really help you to clear things out for you so that you can receive more. So anyway, back to the real master here, Babaji. Soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. So I thought that was really beautiful, and I can actually feel his energy coming through right now. Sending some out to you all as well. He's really grounding. He's wanting me to send you some of this right now. He's really grounding and he's really expanding. He brings through such a beautiful energy of deep stillness and deep peace. Thank you. I didn't know he was going to do this. And it's just, but also being really expanded and open. So bringing through his energy, he's going to be helping us. The archangel I picked, the female archangel who came through, I thought this was beautiful, Archaea Joy. Prioritize play and pleasure. And that is make this class fun. This class is fun. It's fun for me. It's fun for everybody else in the class. So I thought, and I think I said this in the email yesterday, I really love the energy of this group that's coming through. So I thought the fact that we also got this joy card, I'm here for it. I was actually just tuning into Archaea Joy 2 nights ago in my meditation and my self-healing, and I love her energy. She's like exuberant, playful, fun. That's what this should be. And so I love that she is here to remind us of that, to help with that. And so since Babaji wanted to come through, let's just bring through Archaea Joy as well before I close this up and move to the healing. And I feel her really bringing through that expansive joy, really bringing through, it's like the easiest word is exuberance. And she's wanting to emphasize the play. Don't get caught on if you feel like you're right with what's coming through. The more you just play with it and trust, the more you're going to get out of the class. But I understand, if there's doubts and stuff, like I said, I got you. We're going to work on that. So anyway, that is it for the moment. I have to go in with the client, and then I'm going to come back and record the healing separately. But I just wanted to welcome you all in. I am really excited. I know that a lot of you are excited as well and ready to get started. And so I look forward to next week and going down this 6-week journey with you. It's just amazing. It's amazing. So, okay, many blessings, sending so much love to you all.